The early morning of April 18, 1906, started like any other in San Francisco. The bustling city, with its vibrant streets and iconic cable cars, was just beginning to stir. Dawn was approaching, and the first light of day touched the rooftops of the Victorian houses that lined the hills. People were still in their beds, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Among them was young Clara Whitman, a bright-eyed girl of 16 who lived with her family in a modest home near Market Street. Clara dreamed of becoming a journalist, inspired by the dynamic city that offered endless stories. Her father, Thomas Whitman, was a hardworking dock worker, while her mother, Martha, managed the household and took care of Clara's younger brother. 天密点 at precisely 5点12分秒, the earth beneath San Francisco began to shake violently. Clara was jolted awake by the sound of shattering glass and the terrifying roar of the ground moving. She clung to her bed, her heart pounding as the house swayed and creaked. The noise was deafening, and she could hear her parents shouting to each other and to Timmy. "Stay under the doorway," her father yelled, his voice barely audible over the cacophony. Clara scrambled to her feet and joined her family, huddling in the doorway as the earthquake continued its relentless assault. The shaking seemed to go on forever. In reality, it lasted only about 42 seconds. When it finally stopped, an eerie silence fell over the city, broken only by the cries and moans of the injured and the sound of collapsing buildings. When the shaking ceased, Clara stepped outside, her heart heavy with dread. The sight that greeted her was one of utter devastation. Buildings had crumbled, streets were torn apart, and fires had started to break out across the city. The famous cable cars lay toppled and twisted on their tracks.